Hi everyone, it's been a minute since I've come on and done a reading for the collective, but here I am. So the card I drew before I decided to do this is the card of denial. I shuffled my advice deck over here and I asked what the collective needs to hear. Somebody could be dealing with denial or dealing with somebody who is in denial, okay? So failure to accept a situation, unhealthy cycles or addictions. What somebody could be stuck in a relationship where it's the same thing and it's not improving. You try and try again and it's the same result. On the collective that's going through. So the Two of Pentacles, weighing the pros and cons. It is also known as the maybe card. Pentacles. Then we have the Tower card. Living in denial to avoid. Okay, so the denial card indicates that there is this unhealthy cycle. He knows this. They're weighing the pros and the cons to avoid an actual outcome of an ending of a situation, okay? But what's some advice for the collective going through this? What do we have? Beginning. To free yourself from this. To free yourself, interesting. So we got the Ten of Wands, carrying a heavy burden. And then we have the Page of Cups. Comes to the suit, the pages represent a youth perspective, okay? But just because you're older doesn't mean that you can't be represented by a page. You could be emotionally immature. You could not be as experienced as other people are in a certain area. Always learning, right? Always starting something new. So this could mean that you are embarking on new territory in your life. Also, you could be dealing with somebody who is emotionally immature. The Page of Cups in this scenario, how I relate it to denial and toxic cycles, situations that are not working out, begs the question, there's no fool like an old fool, right? So you're wise enough to know, to recognize that you're in denial, someone is in denial, this situation is going on, it's not getting you anywhere, right? So call upon your inner wisdom. You are weighing the pros and cons about this. There's no fool like an old fool. So sometimes when we are in denial and we're not listening to our intuition, we're doing ourselves a disservice because we're not acting from our strongest point of experience. Do you know what I mean? So somebody here is being called to have a sit down conversation with themselves. Okay, what's going on here? What do I want to do? What is the reality of the situation? Accept it, face it, and make a decision to move forward. The Three of Wands, climbing out of that situation to good news on the horizon. See how she's climbing that ladder? It's like she's climbing out of something, climbing towards something better. The Three of Wands represents good news on the near horizon. This could be you climbing yourself out of the situation that you are in, whether it's work related, whether, it could be a toxic work environment, it could be a toxic relationship of some kind, okay? So however this may resonate with you, you are being called to sit down and have a conversation with yourself and be honest with yourself, okay? Ace of Wands, ambition, enthusiasm, new beginnings, fire sign, and Three of Swords. So there's going to be some loss with this situation. There is going to be some heartbreak, but it is ultimately for your highest and greatest good. Just because you feel pain does not mean that it's not meant to be. The Death card on the top of the deck, closing out a cycle, stepping into a new cycle. Just because it's good for you doesn't mean that it can't hurt. The toughest decisions we make are actually for our highest and greatest good. You happen to find yourself going through a situation that resembles something like this and you'd like to know more information on it, and you want to talk about it, please send me a DM. I have spaces available for readings. I have e-transfer if you are a fellow Canadian, PayPal if you're not Canadian. Readings are 30 minutes long, confidential and over the phone, and they are $45. I read for people almost every single day. But this situation of denial, somebody here is stuck trying to figure out what to do, if it's going to get any better. It's not going to get better. You and this situation are not going to improve. Somebody here needs to take a call to action, okay? This isn't serving anybody that is in this situation. It is a toxic cycle that needs to be broken. And remember what I said, just because somebody gets hurt, maybe both of you get hurt, doesn't mean that it's not meant to happen, okay? If it was easy, everybody would do it. Doesn't mean that you still feel something for the situation. if it's not doing you any favors at this point. Again, weighing the pros and cons. How happy are you with this situation? How much unhappiness is this relationship bringing you? Okay, the Two of Pentacles. Thought, find your exit strategy. You are capable of doing it. The outcome of this situation is you taking action, you making this happen for yourself. So anyways, best of luck to you. And if you'd like to schedule a reading with me, send me a DM or send me an email at sallyparkertarot@gmail.com. Thanks. Okay.